In my last video, I compared two different large diaphragm condenser microphones for podcasting. That's because as a voice actor, I'm used to using condenser microphones, but the question has been asked, which is better for podcasting, a condenser microphone like the Movo on my right, or a dynamic microphone such as the Samson Q9U. So in today's video, I'm going to be comparing them for the purposes of determining which sounds better in an untreated room for podcasting, a condenser microphone or a dynamic microphone. Now, I should mention, although it looks like I'm in a treated room, I'm not. It's a green screen. See, I'm sitting in front of a green screen here. So this is actually a completely untreated room. Now, the condenser microphone is XLR running into a mixer and then out the back of the mixer into my computer. That's because it needs phantom power from the mixer in order to work. I'll read the same quote from the intro for my podcast on both microphones, and you guys tell me which one you think sounds better. Here it is on the Movo large diaphragm condenser microphone. Mastering your communication skills can transform your life because communication is the basis of all relationships, personal and professional. Now let's switch it out and see how it sounds on the new Samson Q9U dynamic microphone, also an XLR. And here we have the Samson Q9U dynamic broadcast microphone. You should already hear a difference. First thing I'll say is this is a pretty heavy microphone. I really had to tighten down the boom arm because it was sagging, but once I tightened the screws, it was fine. Another little feature that's worth pointing out, this thread, it spins. What a great idea. Why don't all mics have this? So instead of spinning the mic to put it on, I just spin the thread. Brilliant. Love it. All right, let's check out the microphone itself. So here it is. It's $150. It's a little bit more than the Movo 7. The VSM-7 is $125. So bump up in price slightly. And what are you getting for that? Well, this is a more forgiving mic, of course, because it is a dynamic mic, not a condenser mic. If you don't have a treated room, it should be easier to pick up your voice and eliminate everything around it. Cardioid polar pattern, that's all you really need for podcasting. In terms of the vocal quality, you guys are going to have to tell me which one sounds better, the one I was using at the beginning or the one that I'm using now, although I will do the test in a moment. It looks like your standard podcasting mic. Yes, it is an XLR, but you also have the option to connect it directly to your computer via a USB-C jack, which is also pretty cool. So if you were out and about, if you wanted to connect it to, say, an iPad or your phone or something, I imagine you could do that as well. But I always use an XLR connector through a mixer because I want that additional level of control. For instance, I boosted the volume level, not the gain, but the volume input level on this mic relative to the Movo VSM-7 because it's not putting out as much output. So the mixer allows me to do that. There's the specs. If you care about such things, in a previous video I mentioned, it really comes down to your voice in the room in which you are recording. So now let's compare by reading the same piece of copy that we read earlier. Mastering your communication skills can transform your life because communication is the basis of all relationships, personal and professional. And now let's compare that read from the VSM-7 condenser microphone with the Samson Q9U dynamic broadcast microphone. Mastering your communication skills can transform your life because communication is the basis of all relationships, personal and professional. Mastering your communication skills can transform your life because communication is the basis of all relationships, personal and professional. Okay, that's it. You be the judge. Tell me in the comments down below, which mic do you prefer and why?